everyone, it's Mamie. So I just finished Autumn by Ali Smith, a novel. This is the first book of a series of 4 that are coming out from this author seasonally. This is the first installment called Autumn, and I'm assuming it'll be winter and then spring and summer. And this is my first Ali Smith book. I've been really intimidated to read her because I hear so many different things about her writing, and I was real hesitant to read anything by her because I didn't think that I was, smart enough to read her. But I gave it a try, and I'm so glad that I did because I really enjoyed it. I have never read anything like this before. It was very different in the writing style. I'm not used to that kind of writing, but I must say I really did enjoy it. I feel as though the book is very readable. It wasn't difficult. I didn't have difficulty getting through the book at all. But there were some topics there were tangents and topics that she goes off on at first that I was kind of like, what does she mean? But it all comes together beautifully, if you know what I mean. There is talk of Brexit, which I had no idea was in the UK. I'm from America, so I have a hard enough time keeping up with my own political events that happen here in the States. So I certainly was not familiar with Brexit and what it was. So I looked it up and I found it very interesting. So this is post-Brexit, and it's about a girl, Elizabeth, who I believe she's about 8 years old, and she and her mother moved next to this man who I believe is in his late 70s, and his name is Daniel. And he's a very brilliant, artsy, flamboyant man who lives next door to her, and they become friends. It's a very unusual friendship. You wouldn't think an 8-year-old and was he 77, I think, or somewhere around there, would become such close friends. But he is such a good role model for her and such a good teacher, to say the least. Those were my favorite parts of the book. There were some, talking about the political stuff and talking about there were some comical topics about when Elizabeth goes and tries to get a new picture for her passport, and all the difficulties and the confusion and the ridiculousness of all the ins and outs she had to do to try to do that through the post office. They were just giving her such a runaround, and it was quite comical. But now the book goes back and forth from when she's a little girl, but currently in the current state, she is visiting Daniel in an old folks home, and I think he's 101 now, and she's in her 30s. So as the story is going on, she's reminiscing about her and Daniel's. They take walks together, they've had lots of conversations together. He just makes her think with the questions that he asks her. And so she becomes this brilliant young girl. And now she's like an art professor at university, and she's very, very brilliant, this girl. And I believe it's because of Daniel's influence on her when she was growing up. So, of course, my favorite parts of the book were the friendship between Daniel and Elizabeth. Now, her mother and her, they have their moments, but their relationship is quite interesting as well, which it was kind of fun. So, what else about this book? I don't want to give spoilers out, so I don't want to ruin anything, but that's basically what the book is about Elizabeth and Daniel and their friendship. I just loved him. Oh, God, I wish I had a Daniel in my life. Actually, I kind of did when I was younger. I was maybe like 15, 16. I had an uncle. His name was Uncle Pete. And if you sat around the table with him, he was he reminded me of Daniel. Or Daniel reminded me of my Uncle Pete, where he'd ask the questions, and then you would ponder them, for days. And he had such a, soothing voice and such a soothing demeanor, and we would talk about, he would ask me, what do you want to do with your life, or what do you want to be when you grow up, or things like that. Then I would answer, I would say something, an answer, and he'd be like, so why is it you want to be that, or you know, and he was just so interesting. So Daniel just brought back all those memories that I had with my Uncle Pete, who was now passed on. But that was just, it was just a nice little trigger for me. So I really like the writing of Allie Smith. I hear mixed reviews from people on YouTube, whether or not they like her. I liked her. I liked it a lot. So I'm giving this book a 4. I can't wait for the next installment of this series. I think it's going to be fun, and I hope that she continues with Daniel and Elizabeth, and I get to learn more stories of their friendship as the years have gone by. And I will let you know as soon as I read the next installment. I'll let you know how I feel about it. And that's about it. What do you guys think? Have you guys read this book yet? It's Autumn by Allie Smith. I highly recommend it. I think everybody should read it. It's very different. I don't know what you would call it. I don't know why it's very different. Maybe because she jumps around from topic, but she always comes back to Elizabeth and Daniel's friendship. So I don't know. It was just really different, but I really enjoyed it. So I hope you guys are well, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Thanks for watching. Bye.